It's a new year, and with it a new platinum, and Uncharted Lost Legacy starts off my 2019 with my 201st platinum. And what a platinum to start off with. If you're in any way an Uncharted fan and haven't jumped on Lost Legacy, then you need to. I had my doubts having an old character in Chloe Fraser getting the main stage treatment in what is a smaller sample of the Uncharted cherry. But my reservations were quietly put to rest as the game grew on me and let the story play out, with Nadine from Uncharted 4 thrown in to allow the characters to bounce off each other and add depth. As with any Uncharted, you have your main villain, though he is a weak addition compared to previous games, but is made up for in a great guest appearance later on. Add plenty of references to previous games, and the important thing is, this game works.
I know. This is exactly what I've been saying. This gear's outdated. We need real weapons if we're supposed to be a proper army.
They have taken everything from the Uncharted series and smashed it into a smaller package without losing any of the quirks and gameplay expected of Uncharted. Gunplay is smooth and intact, up-close fighting just as responsive, and the climbing and puzzles all feel fun and in keeping with everything you should know of this franchise.
Damn it!
A word of warning comes to the newcomers, as you really should play at least Uncharted 3 or 4 before this, just to have a better feel for the game and its lore, but it isn't necessary, but you may miss some of the fun nostalgia and banter from the characters as the game progresses, plus you wouldn't know who Nadine or Chloe are. For the Platinum Hunters, you get the obligatory crushing difficulty completion to do, and it's the hardest trophy in the game. As expected, you get your treasure collecting trophies as the Uncharted staple, but they've thrown in some new collectibles to mix things up. But ultimately, this isn't a hard platinum for veterans of Uncharted, and will be enjoyable to obtain, despite some tricky spikes in difficulty as you go through on crushing. All the music and sounds are intact. The guns sound like any other Uncharted, but what makes the game is the dialogue and the free-flowing nature of how the characters interact. It's brilliant and it keeps you invested throughout the story, especially when they throw in a great cameo that amps the tension and the animosity, and especially the banter that starts to flow. Graphically, it's what you expect of Uncharted. The animals will make appearances and interact, and it feels so natural to the environment, though keep an eye out for the elephant moment. This time you treasure hunt in India, and it really works well, leading to some scenes and moments that are really breathtakingly gorgeous. That you just stop and you just take it all in. The water and mud react with the characters and it all feels organic, though you do get some minor breaks in the walls, or sometimes the interaction doesn't happen with an item, but it's never a problem and it easily fixed with a simple restart or checkpoint.
Well, at least I've still got my dignity.
The game feels solid and complete that I can't find fault with it, apart from in crushing. The enemies seem to have superhuman sight, and it can get frustrating when you want to stealth. But a blessing is Nadine isn't seen by the enemy, even if out in the open, which ruins the stealth vibe, but at least doesn't make you want to kill her for alerting everyone. On a personal frustration, I would have loved for Nadine to have been more useful in combat, or allowed me to suggest placements so I could capitalise on some of the stealth kills. She is a badass, and it didn't feel reflected during gameplay, unlike some of the cutscenes. For me, it's a 5 out of 5, even if it was originally planned as a DLC. It holds its own as a standalone Uncharted, and it fits nicely into the franchise, and it must be played to really appreciate what they have done without main man Nathan Drake, and yet still kept the atmosphere and fun intact. I have the Uncharted 1 to 4 Platinums, and even the remastered Uncharted Platinums, so trust me when I say if you're a fan and not played it, please do, you won't be disappointed. If you liked the video, please give me some feedback, like and subscribe.